Hey everyone! In today's vlog I decided to do something I had in my mind for a while. I have a decent Lenovo laptop that is collecting dust for quite some time. And the reason? It has Windows on it. And I am not a very big fan coding on a Windows machine. But before doing anything, let's do a proper backup. When I bought this laptop, I installed 16GB of RAM, plus the 4GB that it had on board, and I ignored the official specs that said that it supports 16GB in total. That happened because I trusted a comment on the reviews from a random guy that said that he tried the same thing and worked. And I can verify that this also worked out for me without any issues. But let's get some coffee while we wait for the backup to finish. Okay, now that we backed up our data, let's talk a bit about what we're going to do with our patient here. I have already a Linux distro on this flash drive. I've selected Fedora workstation because I heard really good things about it and also has the best chance to work without any issues on laptops. One thing you should keep in mind when installing Linux on a laptop is to check the drivers for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and also sometimes check suspend mode if it works properly while closing the lid. Another important thing is to check the battery performance using that distro, something really important for laptops and something we never consider when we install Linux on a regular PC. For all those reasons, I always run a test before installing, and you can do that from the boot options, and by doing that you can check if the Wi-Fi is working properly, and then you should try to connect and check maybe a YouTube video, for example, to see if everything is in order. Let me know in the comments, do you also use Fedora? Do you use another Linux distro? Do you like Fedora in general? Do you like GNOME? Do you like KDE? Let me know. Okay, after all those tests, I decided to proceed and install the distro. There are some simple steps that you follow, and I would recommend to avoid dual boots in general and erase all the data from the hard drive for a clean installation. The installation is finished, so let's boot it properly and see if everything is in order. We set up some permissions and time zone settings. Also, we set up the user settings and the passwords. And now it starts the fun part. We can go and customize basically everything. Usually the first thing that I do is to install all the apps that I use, like a browser and an IDE, but this time I'm going to settings and I want to change something that is really important. And of course, that is to change the dark theme. In general, I like the macOS layout, so I'm considering adding icons from older macOS releases. Also, I'm going to add extensions for the UI to make it more modern and functional. But maybe this is a really good idea for another video, how to customize a Linux distro. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you like this video, hit that like and subscribe button, and see you on the next one.